Hello, my name is Edwin.
What up? This is Jeff.
And this is Frantic, and welcome to Tilted Not Stirred, everyone. Hello, hello. On this beautiful Monday evening, it is August 29th, 2022, 9:46 p.m. with 15 seconds, right on the dot. How are you
Dude,
guys
what
doing?
happened to August? What happened to August?
August? Dude, that is so true. It's about to be September, and then spooky season, and then Thanksgiving. Yeah. Basically, year's over.
Exactly.
I remember September used to be my favorite time of the season, especially when I was in college. You know, school started.
Mm-hmm.
You can wear jackets because it's nice and cool. You know, and in the morning it was like, misty and foggy, and at night it was nice and cool. But during the day, you had a good sunny day.
Yeah,
it was such a good
it's
time.
True. It is technically September is still considered summer, but yeah, you can feel the transition, especially at night, because you can actually leave the windows open and feel like a really nice temperature, like internal temperature of the house now. Because my goodness, I don't know if it's because of the apartment I live at and the insulation sucks, but my God, if the AC is not on, there's no way, dude. There is no way.
My insulation also sucks in my apartment, so when it's hot outside, it's even hotter indoors.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's cold outside, it's even colder indoors. And I don't even know how that physically is possible, but it's fucking impossible to be out or in, depending on extreme weather conditions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what I like to do when it's hot? Drink an ice cold beer. And that is exactly what I did this weekend. I went down to San Diego, and I finally went to Stone Brewing. Stone Brewing, or the brewery down there.
The IPA guys?
Yep, they do make IPAs and all these other kinds of ales, but yes, the Tangerine Express is one of my favorite beers, and it is made by Stone, and very, very impressive brewery they got down there. It's probably the nicest brewery I've been to, and just in terms of aesthetic and just how rich it felt. Like, it's hard to explain because all the decorations, and they had a beer garden, they had multiple bars, they had like fountains, and like little mini waterfalls and like koi fish. Like, it was very, very, very nice. And previously, Ballast Point in Long Beach was one of my favorite breweries, but the Stone Brewery down there in San Diego, top notch. Definitely recommend it to you guys. If you guys are ever down there, very good beers, and just be careful at what time you actually go, because it was, the wait was already getting kind of long. It was just for two of us.
That's cool. I think I've been to the Stone IPA one over in San Diego. So yes, I think I've been
at
there.
Liberty Station. Super nice. Yep. What'd you guys do this weekend? Anything cool?
It was just a lot of big chilling for me.
Lots of big chilling. All right.
I didn't have any plans. I just played Tekken all weekend, so that was nice.
Very cool. And I guess we'll just go into the topic for this week. This week, we'll be talking about student loan forgiveness, brought to you by #MyPresident Joe Biden.
Now play that intro.
Yep. Hallelujah.
Where's my money at? Where's my 10K?
It's my 10K now.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm happy y'all got your 10K.
Yes.
So first of all, you don't get the full amount. You just get up to 10K. If it wipes off your debt, you don't get the extra. You don't get the excess.
Of course. And it'd be kind of kind of dumb if he gave you extra. Or, if you do have, 10K in loans, you get like $200.
Yeah. So last week, for those of you who may be living under a rock or just didn't care because you didn't go to college, Joe Biden, hashtag my president.
Hashtag my president.
Last week on, I believe it was on Wednesday, he came out to a little a little press conference type of thing to announce that he is implementing a student loan relief.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, millennials and everyone who attended college rejoices. And then, of course, you have all the salty people that didn't go, and they're just being annoying. But anyways, so we're going to talk about what it is, what it isn't, maybe some pros and
Frank, you're having
cons.
some
And just
audio issues over there.
What happened?
You're turning
You
into a
having-
robot.
I am a
Yeah.
robot.
We didn't hear anything.
But
you just said.
anyways, that's probably just an internet
So,
issue.
yeah, that was
It's
fun.
not doing anything on my recording side. But anyways,
But yeah, you should be fine in your recording, right?
yeah. So basically, what this student loan relief is going to do is it'll provide 10K to folks that took out student loans for college. And if you made under 125K, if you make 125K, sorry, and you'll be receiving 20K, so an extra 10 if you're also a Pell Grant recipient. And all this is going to go towards your loan. So as Jeff said, if you owe less than 20K, let's say you're getting the maximum amount, and you owe less than 20, you ain't going to get the difference. So very, very cool. What do you guys think just right off the bat before I dish out all the cool info?
I mean, let's fucking go, dude. I didn't owe that much, but, hey, whatever. They wiped my debt. I'm happy.
Hashtag my president.
Hashtag
Edwin?
my president. I actually voted for him.
Yeah, I
Edwin?
didn't have any debt at all, but it was it's very nice to see that people who did,
Mhm.
got 10K, and that's some life-changing money, That's money that when you're not earning as much as you as much as you can, it changes your life around, It's 10K is a lot to owe,
Yeah.
but it's not a lot to have.
And one
So-
less payment. One
Yeah.
less monthly payment, which will open up for other
Wait,
things.
were
can
you
do.
still making those payments? I haven't made a single payment since the freeze started.
I have not made a single payment since I graduated, so
Hell
that's how
yeah.
long these delays have been.
Damn.
I graduated 2020, so basically 2 years ago, and I still haven't had to make a single payment.
Dude, sick. You took
great?
full advantage.
I mean,
And did he wipe it? Is it all wiped?
no, oh god, no. I still owe way more.
Oh, okay. was
But
about
I
to say.
appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it because not only did he give it money out, but he also extended the whole repayment plan stuff to start
December,
back
right?
up. Yeah, so January 2023.
Oh,
They had
shit.
previously said January 2022 was going to be the start, but they just keep pushing it back. So as long as hashtag my president just keeps pushing it back, then we're going to be cool.
I really didn't like the reaction of the internet saying oh yeah, 10K. What about 30K? What about 50K? It's like, bitch,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. It's so ungrateful. I hated every second of it. These are I don't know. I don't know where. I'm not as politically savvy as I should be, but I don't think these handouts and stuff come without a back end.
There is a cost, but
Isn't
of
the
cour-
isn't the cost just to increase the taxes on the rich corporations? Or
well,
Oh, then
there's-
fuck it. Let's roll.
It's not super directly correlated. Basically, the argument here is that if you help out all these million, and I'll get into how many millions of people actually owe student loans. But basically, the argument here is
trickle
if you-
up economics.
yeah, if you remove this debt from all these basically millennials, and they're able to start opening businesses or buying houses, etc. I mean, I think that's a little exaggerated. But let's say in a world where you don't have the student loan payment anymore, so now you have a little extra money to continue to put it back into the economy or maybe start a business. That's kind of like how they're going to offset this cost. But yeah, so this is a 3-part plan brought to you by #MyPresident, Joe Biden. So one of them, as we know, is going to be the targeted debt relief, which is going to be, again, the $20K if you were a recipient of the Pell Grant, $10K if you weren't, but you make under $125K, and then the pause of the federal student loan repayments. Cool beans. Also, they are cutting the monthly payments in half for undergraduate loans. So depending on how much you used to pay, you're going to now pay half of that per month. So another big boon for those. For those of us who are going to start paying again or for the first time, the payments are going to be lower, and as well as protect future students and taxpayers by reducing the cost of college and holding schools accountable when they hike up prices. So this is, I'm a little blurry about. I don't know exactly how they're going to make colleges stop charging so much money because, my God, the price of school has increased dramatically over the span of the last couple, like maybe 40 years or so. But yeah, so very cool news, very good news. Nearly all the Pell Grant recipients come from families with incomes of less than $60K. So we're going to see a lot of, like Edwin said, a lot of life-changing money getting injected into, I don't want to say the lower class, but definitely not the top 1%ers. So very cool that the people get a little bit of a bailout, not just the PPP loans that all these businesses and corporations got during the pandemic. But yeah, let's get into a little bit of the pros and the cons, shall we?
Sure.
So this is the reasons in favor. And we're just going to kind of go down one by one here. Student loan debt is slowing the national economy. Forgiveness would boost the economy, benefiting everyone. And as I said earlier, it could be the difference between somebody wanting to start a business or somebody wanting to do something else that'll inject money into the economy. A very good reason.
Yeah,
the reason,
good to me.
Yeah. The reason against, we're just going to go back and forth here. Student loan forgiveness is an abuse of the loan system. People must be held responsible for their personal economic choices. So a 2020 survey found that 46% of Americans believe that student loan forgiveness is unfair to those who have paid off their loans, and 39% believe it is unfair to those without loans.
Tough tits.
Tough tits.
Life isn't fair.
I really don't like this argument, mainly because not every single benefit benefits everyone. And if you're going to use the logic of, well, if it's not helping me, then like, why? It
shouldn't help anybody.
It shouldn't help anyone.
Yeah,
it's
the
unfair.
dumbest shit ever.
So, not the best. Not the best. And so some have the idea that this forgiveness is basically steeped in the idea that people are entitled to a college education, other people's hard work. It codifies in policy the idea that adults are not responsible for their own actions. In a free society, I'm not entitled to a college education, neither is anyone else.
What? Don't other countries have like free college educations?
Yeah.
Why is it that America has to be so backwards at this shit? It's 10K,
taxes, dude.
You know, it's all profit, dude. You gotta make money.
It's the dumbest
we were
shit
founded
ever.
on our hatred of taxes, and if we increase taxes, shit. It's so as an un-American as it gets. But I am all for, increasing taxes and making more, societal changes.
I'm pretty sure the three of us combined pay more taxes than Amazon does a year.
Oof.
Don't they have to pay taxes on like employees and match like 401ks and like, don't they put a lot of money into?
Yeah, but that's taxes that come out of the employee's check, not the company check. I don't know.
I'm
It's
not
just
super. I'm not
they
super
pay a
versed on the
ridiculously
way
I'm not super
corporations
ridiculously low amount. I'm exaggerating, of
avoid.
course.
Yeah. I'm not super versed on how they end up doing it. But yeah. So that is one of the reasons against. Now we're gonna go back to another reason to be in favor. And this one's a little bit more based towards race. So student loan debt has disproportionately hurt Black students. Forgiveness could help rectify racial inequality. So while individual white borrowers at the medium stand to gain the most in absolute dollars from student debt cancellation, the relative gains for Black borrowers much larger, and the greater proportion of Black borrowers means that Black wealth overall would experience more growth as a result. Given the many advantages wealth confers in the contemporary U.S. context, the substantial increase in Black net worth is a very significant positive contribution of student debt cancellation.
It's a means to rectify some, fucking systemic racism,
Yeah, and it's not in this little subsection of a pro of a reason why to support. It's not just Black folks. They also in here talk about brown and Black, basically any minority that. For us, like in an anecdotal example, for us that we're basically some of the first generations, if not first generation here, we don't have anything already built or established. And so we're basically coming from like zero to like something, right? And it becomes this vicious cycle where you have to owe money to get to places, and then once you're there, you're basically there but paying money, and you're kind of like you stagnate to a point. And I think that's what this means here. It's basically that even though you are helping, because I mean, there's a lot of students of color, but as well as a lot of white students as well that are going to be receiving this benefit. So it isn't just based on just race alone that how much money you're going to get, but it just so happens that a lot of minorities tend to be on the lower side of the income bracket. And so help to them will be exponentially more felt, right? And so that's a okay-ish reason. I usually don't like to bring like race into like why things should or should not be, but I do understand the point that's being made here.
Yeah. And I think sometimes it is valuable to bring it up because if people aren't saying it, even though it's heavily implied, there's a lot of things that people don't say, and they should, and they expect somebody else to say it, but that person doesn't say it either.
And we're all just saying it in our heads.
Yeah, everybody's just saying it in their heads, and we just perpetuate more of the same thing. It's okay to talk about difficult topics and get those said.
Mm-hmm. And now basically the counter to this is that student loan debt forgiveness would disproportionately help rich or more financially secure college students. So the argument here is that students from families earning more than $114K a year borrow at the same rate as the lowest income students, and they take out loans nearly twice as large. So you have students with advanced degrees such as lawyers, doctors, etc. They account for 40% of all student debt, and the top 25% of income earning households hold almost half of student debt.
The thing is, the counter argument to that is that the 10K aren't affecting those people as greatly as the people who are on the lower income bracket.
Yeah, I would imagine all these people by now are making more than $125,000 a year. And if they're not, then they should deserve the help. They do deserve the help.
I mean, yeah,
that's the whole point of the cap.
Yeah.
They got that because, doctors go through like internships and residencies where they make next to nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is one of those arguments where they take like the like one of like the extreme cases of like, oh look, these are all the like the higher income, like the higher side of that 125K limit. They have like I said here, the top 25% of income earning households hold almost half of the student loan debt. I don't know if you can use this as an argument against, because there is like it says 25%, so the other 75% would constitute a lot more people. So you're gonna help out a lot more people than just helping this top 25%. So even though some of this top 25% will also receive help, like nobody's mad that they're getting help. So like it's totally cool, you know, like they can totally get the help as well. But yeah, so that is another argument against. Okay, just reading ahead. This one's a little long, but not very important. Okay, so let's go back into the favor section. Okay. Student loan debt has infantilized. That's a hard. Is that how you pronounce that?
Infantilized, like infants?
Yeah. Student loan debt has infantilized a generation or more of Americans, preventing them from achieving milestones such as getting married, buying a house, or saving for retirement. Discharging such debt would help foster a healthier, most productive, and more socially constructive citizenry.
Damn. That's crazy. That one actually hit me pretty hard. That's the shit that people move back in to their parents' home, and because they have such crippling debt, you know, they can't afford to get out, and therefore remain, you know, undeveloped in the ways of like society, I guess.
Right.
Because they have to be taken care of again, even though they have a degree. And that shit is the shit that happens to a lot of people in like our side of the world, you know? It's just like,
and
that shit hits hard.
Our generation specifically, millennials are, I mean, you look at, but like, for example, the millennials' parents, I don't know what generation that is, but
Gen X and the
Gen
boomers.
X. Yeah. So let's say Gen X. So Gen X, by their, you know, they pick themselves up by their bootstraps, and back then a single parent could basically buy a house and maintain a household and put their kids through college, etc. But imagine doing that in today's society with the way that things cost now. So if you weren't already established, and if your parents didn't already buy a home back when homes were cheap, well, you're kind of like, you're SOL, right? You're shit out of luck, because you can't find a cheap house now. You can't. In order for you to buy a house, you can't just be a 9-to-5 regular worker. You might have to do like side hustles and do a lot of extra things that probably require a good bit of connections. Not to say that you can't pull yourself by the bootstraps now and buy yourself a home, because I've seen plenty of people at our age be able to buy a house, and that is beautiful. Yeah. That is a great thing. But if we're talking about just in general, and if we all just look at the people around in our lives, shit's expensive. I don't think anybody can argue against that.
It seemed like you graduate and then you go back to living with your parents, which is usually not what's supposed to happen, right? You graduate, you get a job, a good paying job, and you go out and, you know, get an apartment, live your life, and then buy a house. That shit is not the business, because now rent costs more than a mortgage. You know, a mortgage payment, and that shit's insane. That shit's insane. You know,
that is the shit that'll keep you down for at least your generation.
So I guess this is like a little. When I moved to the place that I when I moved to the place that I'm currently living at, it was $750 for rent, and that's because it was a dingy little place, and we lived spitting distance next to a train, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the train shakes the entire apartment and wakes you up at every, 3 to 4 hour interval. Even in the day, it's even like 15 minutes because it's the Metrolink,
Right.
right? So, all these concessions aside, it was in the ghetto, all this shit. $750, right? Just recently, they did some renovations to the apartment next to me.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
the people moved out, everything seemed cool. And when I inquired about the rent, it is at $1,850
Holy
Sheesh.
in the same fucking place. Nothing has changed other than they added hardwood flooring to that apartment, but it is at $1,850. Fuck all that, especially living where I live and I know exactly what is around me. Fuck all that.
Yeah, whoever moves into that apartment, you're just gonna have to look at them like, hey, yeah. I don't know, man. And that's kind of just that's a whole nother issue, right? With just the supply and demand of housing and population increasing and inflation and anyways,
Yeah, I don't
that is
pay
a whole
$750
nother
anymore
thing.
though. So
Yeah.
ours went up too.
Everything goes up. Okay, cool. So let's go into the cons. Another reason against student loan forgiveness. Discharging student loan debt would only be a temporary bandage for the much larger problem of inflated college costs.
So,
I mean, colleges are being bullshit too. How many pools do you fucking need at a college? How many more dorms do you need? How many apartments across the street do you need? Like, Cal State San Bernardino, the college that I went to, are all up on their bullshit, adding these amenities that nobody needs. This is a commuter school that they're adding bullshit to, and they keep raising the prices for it. Nobody asked for a fourth pool. Nobody asked for more, apartments that are nearby, Like, it's a commuter school. No one's gonna, that's not gonna change.
Yeah, that happened at Cal Poly. They added a huge rec center, which was beautiful. It's 3 stories tall. It has like a giant rock climbing thing in the middle, and basketball courts and weight training, and there's everything you could ever want in a single building. Our tuition went up, and it's whatever. I was taking out loans, so for me, it's whatever. Now looking at how much like student loan debt I actually racked up because of how long it took me to graduate, on top of like all the incremental increases to the tuition because we constructed another parking lot. Oh, we got a rec center. Oh, we got this and that, right? I don't know what the state is doing to incentivize or disincentivize these state colleges to continue increasing just tuition on top of all this other, you still get hit with random fees as well for going to college, which I think is bullshit. But what is being done? And they could say that, cost of operation is very high, and so we need more funds. But you're basically just saying that you don't want it to eat away at your profits.
Yeah.
And why do you need a profit? But that's just that is capitalism, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, my tuition increased because the dean went on Undercover Boss.
What? Wait, what? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so the dean of UCR went on Undercover Boss, and he went to the track field And he was like, "Oh, why is it so shitty?" And he's like, "Oh, well, we don't have the funds to fix it." And he's like, "Oh, I'll fix it." And he fixed it, and then I think our tuition went up like $1,500 because of that.
What? Hey guys, I fixed the problem! Hooray!
Now
And then they just
it's
here's
$1,500
extra. Yeah,
per
here's
person.
extra.
per person.
Yeah.
And that's not what that costed. I'm assuming that's not.
And
what
that
cost.
was throughout my entire years there. I had that fee on there the entire time.
Yeah, wouldn't it be interesting if they were to build something and then once they've so they slap on an extra fee, right? Let's say it's $500 or maybe even $200 because there's thousands and thousands of students, right, that go to state college. So let's say they slap on a fee, and then once said building is already paid for,
They just don't remove the fee.
then you remove the fee. Like I'm saying, they should remove the fee or maybe decrease it, so now it's just maintenance, right? But the fact that they finish paying stuff off and they continue, this is just a new tuition,
Mm.
and everyone just has to be okay with it. Is very interesting, and it's not as easy as just saying, you know what, I'll just go to a different school that will charge me less, whatever. It's not that easy to just bounce around to different universities once you're already kind of anchored in to your one major and the one program at your four-year university of choice. It's not as
Okay.
easy as just picking up your things and then going somewhere else.
I did a quick calculation, right?
Okay.
He said the field was what exactly was retouched at UCR.
At this one, I think they fucking redid the whole entire track and field thing.
Track and field.
Because I don't think it was open when I was there.
So at $1,500, right? It takes 3,333 people or college students to pay $5 million worth. UCR has way more people than 3,333.
Hey man, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't know if it was that. It's probably less. Obviously, I like to exaggerate, but
Yeah, I
it was
know, but
it
like-
was a large amount.
If we're talking about that kind of nickel and diming for a lot of students, we're not just saying that these numbers, are over exaggerated or anything. These things happen like in colleges. We installed a new pool, everyone's gonna pay for it, a set fee, but that fee never leaves. That fee just stays and it becomes part of your tuition. Like tuition, nobody during my entire time in college, no one said tuition is decreasing this quarter, because I was in quarters still.
Mm-hmm.
No one said, "Hey, it's decreasing. You're gonna pay less this quarter." No, it was always you're gonna pay more
Mm-hmm.
for amenities that I didn't use because I was a commuter.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. I mean, they just installed I saw a picture. A friend of mine went back to CSUSB, and they have this LED, not LED, like this huge LED CSUSB sign. That I was like, what the like, they made it look like a Coachella sign. And I was just like, okay. But like, why though? Those people are paying for that.
I did a quick little search of where does the college profits go, and so for nonprofit colleges and universities, they must reinvest the revenues in funding school programs, scholarships, student aid, and athletics, etc. And then the for-profit colleges are not required, obviously, to reinvest all their funds. So maybe that's why. Because I do be looking at some of the stuff sideways, like, did we really need that? Like, I guess they have all this extra money and they kind of have to use it. So I guess.
But they have the extra money, they use it, and then they expect you to pay for it again.
Why not invest in the future? Your
That-
students.
Actually, yeah, it's kind of that is. I mean, they
Why can't they
I
invest
don't
in the
know.
students?
I don't know what to defend here.
Like, why not put that money towards programs or things that will help the students within the
I
university?
mean, to be fair, I did have a UCR grant the full time I was there.
Yeah, they do give money, Edwin. They do give the monies. It's not that they don't, and I mean sometimes they give more money than you need. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, all the I have student loan debt, and I took out all the grants possible to me because at the time, I'll be honest, I just wanted to have a really good college experience, which I did, so I don't regret it. And I did not work a full-time job because I remember doing full-time job and doing full-time student, and it sucked because a lot of extracurricular stuff you can do at college all happened after certain hours of the day, right? But then that's when I would have to go to work, and so I really felt like it limited me in some ways. In other ways, it was probably me saying, you know what, I can get away with not working by just accepting all the loans, and future Frantic can figure this shit out.
Hell yeah.
So the same way that the colleges may not seem to be spending the money properly, I mean, I don't think the students are doing that much better of a job either, if we're gonna be honest.
Oh no, man. I mean,
That's true.
if you talk to anyone at UCR, they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm in a bunch of debt, but I just got this new MacBook Pro."
Hey,
Yeah,
the
okay,
the,
alright,
the FAFSA just dropped. Hey, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first check for FAFSA that came in. I needed a laptop, but I didn't get just any laptop at the time. I got a one with a subwoofer that was included with the laptop, and it was this. It was one of the state of the art HP ones, and it had all of the things that I didn't need, and it came with a Xbox 360 on the side. So
Wow, value.
that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, I remember my first check. I went over and I bought a car. Straight up, I'm like, I'm gonna buy a car. I need a car. I'm going to
Y'all
go to
are
school,
wild,
right?
dude.
People are gonna be frothing at the mouth now that we're just here.
Hey, I did need a car though to drive to school because I commuted. I did need a car, so that was technically kind of what the money should be going towards.
Yeah, I think on average my refund check was like 500 to 750 on the high end
No man, I took
for
everything.
3.5 months or whatever, however long the quarter was.
Mine was around $2 grand, but back then I was able to survive a whole quarter on $1,000. I don't know how I did it, but now it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Man,
But
I was
yeah.
a broke bitch by the end of the quarter, dude. I would be like, hold on, I got this coupon 2 for 4 Westerns.
That was always so funny at the start of the semesters and the quarters. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, let's go eat here, let's go eat there." And then by the end of the quarter, the food courts are empty. Nobody got no
Yeah.
money anymore.
Exactly. At Taco
That
Bell,
was-
me and Taco Bell became friends in college, and they had the 5-layer burrito
Mhm.
that I would eat specifically during the times that I didn't have any money. So, shout out to Taco Bell.
Right on. So all in all, this student loan forgiveness, I think it's a net positive. I don't agree on giving out a bunch of handouts. I don't like it when the government steps in and even gives money to businesses. I understand there's consequences to the economy if we don't bail them out, but goddamn, dude, people are actually upset that students that are going to be the future of the country are getting bailed out. So incredible.
Hey, these are the same politicians that had their PPP loans forgiven of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And we're getting 10 to 20K.
Yeah, and
just let
most
us
people
have
aren't
this.
getting that much. Or well,
Yeah.
I'm not, but I'm sure a lot are.
So here's a little bit more numbers. So there's about 43 million student loan borrowers in the U.S. of A. And this relief, they're estimated that roughly 20 million borrowers will basically be cleared after this.
That's
Hell yeah.
amazing. That's
So
incredible.
That is.
I'm one of
wow.
It's a tear
Good
in my
shit.
eye, dude.
Hashtag
Dude.
my president.
Directly affected. Good stuff, everyone.
Dude, I remember when I was signing up for the student loan too, I was like, because they want you to have the payment plan set up too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what if I just do the minimum every month? So I did
Until
that.
one day.
Until one day it just magically disappeared.
That's amazing.
And so nearly 90% of debt cancellation benefits will go to borrowers earning less than 75K. So another big dub there. So the statistics here says 87% of the ones that are getting of the 20 million that I've just mentioned, 87% of them make less than 75. So huge relief there.
Dude, I was giving like extra 300 every payment for my student loans and stuff. I just got them paid as soon as possible, and
were you trying to avoid like interest?
I was just trying to avoid interest, trying to avoid like I was paying what the payment was, and then adding an extra 300 so I could just be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
And
$50 a month for me, dude.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I got finished real quick, but I just don't like having any debt, and this one bit me in the ass. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just money I didn't have accounted for, so it's really nice for everybody that has those loans, you know, to be able to pay those off and be able to use that money for something that enriches their life or makes things better for society as a whole.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go on like StockX and just buy new Jordans every month.
Nah, that's all going into BBBY, dude.
What is that?
Bed Bath and Beyond, the newest meme stock craze.
Wait, what? Do I need to get in on this?
Oh, I don't know, dude. I think the ship has sailed on that one.
Oh.
It was at $4, I think like 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And then that next week it was at 30.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I think today it's at like 13.
I used to own Bed Bath and Beyond stock, and
we are not financial advisors.
Yeah,
this is not financial
this isn't
advice.
a financial.
he opened with meme stock, all right? It's
Yeah,
a meme
yeah.
stock.
Hey, don't go around throwing your life savings at Bed
It's
Bath
at 1377. Yeah. Hey, the shorts haven't covered, boys.
Well, I don't own any, so I'm not
Yeah, neither have
technically manipulating anything, right?
I'm still holding AMC.
Damn.
We should
Those are some
make a
diamond hands.
podcast episode on quiet quitting. That's a big thing right now.
Wait, what is that?
Is
Quiet
that just
quitting.
walking away from your job without notice?
No, a lot of people.
Like, you know what? And then just walk away. Like, what
And
does that
then-
mean?
And then get home and say, "Oh shit, I'm gonna regret this later. I'm gonna show up tomorrow like nothing happened."
Yeah, that's why you don't say anything. You're just like, you know what? And then you just walk out the door.
No,
And it's
quiet
like, what?
quitting is this thing. TikTokers or like the new Gen Zers are, you don't do anything that is not your job, and you don't stay over your job or anything. Like, you don't do any other obligations that you're not supposed to. You say no more. So that's a podcast idea that I've been stumbling across all week. Everybody's writing articles on quiet quitting.
I mean, I read some wild
Right.
stories, right? They're from Reddit, so they're probably not real. But there was one guy who said that his manager was threatening to fire him because he refused to work more than 10 hours a day. Yeah, so this guy was working
That
10 hours a
is-
day, and they were like, you need to stay the full 12 hours. And he worked, I think, 6 days.
I mean, I used to work at a place that was mandatory 12 hours, and if you didn't do 12 hours, they would look at you weird until they just let you go. That was
Until you
a little
slipped enough
interesting.
for them to
Yeah.
be able to fire you, huh?
But this was
Yeah.
voluntary overtime, and they
I
were
got-
still like, "Hey, why aren't you staying?"
I got fired legit. Like, this is my fault because so I had been working 12 hours every day, Monday through Friday, and they said mandatory overtime on Saturday. And I went to a party Friday night. I woke up in my car Saturday morning,
Nice.
and obviously the first thing I do, I look at the time, and I'm like, well, I'm already late, so why even go? I got fired because I didn't go to mandatory overtime on a Saturday after already have worked 60 hours that week, and they wanted more.
Yeah, I think we have a good topic to talk about next time. And if you guys have any questions, you could bring them up, that way we can just have this discussion together.
We talked a lot of good things about this. Is there anything bad about student loan forgiveness other than like obviously all the money that it's going to cost? But I hate it when people bring that up because it's like
It's not your money to spend.
we're so in debt at this point. Like money just doesn't even seem real. Is that a concern? That money
Yeah,
doesn't
like
seem
who-
real anymore.
Who pays United States debt?
No one does apparently.
I
Yeah,
mean,
who
countries
pays?
we basically owe countries
Exactly.
insane amounts of
everybody-
money. But like all of this always just feels like it's it's always teetering like on a rope. What is that kind of rope called?
Tightrope.
A tightrope. Yeah, there you go. So it seems like we're always on a tightrope, and whenever because unfortunately in the US it's basically a two-party system, and the other ones are kind of just there along for the ride. And this two-party system, one side will propose this huge spending bill and then always justify the spending because of these reasons. We're going to make the money back, and the debt just keeps going up. It doesn't matter which side it is. Neither side is very good at cutting back on the debt. Does money really exist?
Money's just a mental construct, bro.
I have a very micro scale for this. It made me laugh. So my girlfriend tried to transfer money from her savings account to her checking account, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, "Oh, since it's the weekend, we're not able to do it until Monday." And this is just transferring
One
numbers.
number to another number. Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you, Edwin, but I think she just didn't want to pick up the tab, bro.
No, it's not that.
She didn't.
It was just it's pretty funny.
And
too.
she had that Kevin Hart excuse.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, my money's tied up in my savings account.
See,
It's
the
weekend.
the thing about my savings account is it takes a day. Yeah, she just
Nah,
pulled a
it
fast one on you.
Nah. It wasn't in lieu of having to pay something. It was just like, how does this
How is it that it's my money and I can't just use my money?
that and they're not physically taking your
They're moving it
cash.
from one vault to the other.
Yeah. They have a savings vault and a checking
We don't-
vault, Edwin.
we
You
don't
know.
have
This is-
we don't have anyone in to make that transaction happen.
Exactly,
So
Yeah, this is just a number that we all have floating around in our bank accounts.
No. There's two safes, Edwin. There's a central bank. We have two safes. And you have
Oh.
your checking safe and then your savings safe, Edwin. So someone has to go in, grab the money from your checking safe and put it into your savings safe.
it's important.
Yeah, and Earl
'cause-
doesn't get here until Monday at like
exactly,
6 a.m.
bro.
Yeah,
And
it's
he might be
important.
late, too.
It's very important to keep these things in order because, God forbid that somebody actually comes in and like does an audit on a bank, and they gotta make sure that the money's right.
I just thought it was funny how this number isn't even real, and we're out here 2 to 3 business day.
When I found out that when we deposit money to the bank and the bank takes that money and they invest it in something else so that they can make money off of the money that we put in, I just didn't even know what to say.
I think if all of us were to go, like if everyone were to go to their bank and withdraw their money,
they don't have it.
They don't have it.
They don't fucking have it. Isn't that? Is it? We put so much blind trust in these things. Let's hope that not everybody decides to pull their money out, because then that's gonna be. I mean, wasn't that
that was the banking crisis of what, 2004?
Yeah. Even further back, was that the depression
during the recession?
Or the recession?
Yeah, during the depression, yeah. I remember because that's what A Beautiful Life was about. They owned a bank, right? And people were trying to withdraw all their money, and the guy was like, "Well, your money's not here. It's invested in his house, and his house, and his house." And they're like, "What the fuck? We want our money." And then it was a happy ending because everyone pitched in and was like, "Look, we all pulled in our money so you can pay off the debts." It's a very 1940s movie.
Yeah. And just to like go even bigger picture, I guess, is it's nuts that like in case of a real emergency and the banks go down and everything goes down, money in the end means nothing.
It's all about goods, dude.
You know who's going to be laughing?
What you actually own. What happened?
If banks go down, the people who are going to be laughing are the people who keep it all under their mattress.
Well, the money doesn't mean anything.
Okay. We're talking about like full money doesn't mean shit. Okay.
Yeah, like I guess you can use it for fuel for the fire.
Yeah.
To survive an extra couple days.
Bottle caps.
Yeah, funny. The whole purpose of the bottle caps in Fallout was because you can't replicate them. You can't counterfeit the bottle cap in the Fallout world. That's why they started using them as currency.
That's interesting.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, that's basically the episode, folks. You guys want to give any closing thoughts, and we'll leave the folks to do what they do the rest of their day.
I mean, yeah, me deciding to pay $50 on a $4,500 loan, and it ended up saving me $3,500.
Hey, go make it rain, millennials, at the strip clubs.
Whoa, no.
They gotta stimulate the economy somehow. And they could be doing that while stimulating themselves.
That's a recession indicator. I don't know, when the strip clubs start dying down, then you know the times are tough.
Exactly. So go to your nearest strip club and put somebody to college.
Put someone through college.
Or, we're in a modern society, Edwin. Hit up your local OnlyFans. And then, support someone there.
That is
innovation, people.
Content creators are, it seems like an easy job, but it ain't easy. It ain't easy putting this kind of stuff together for you guys. Even though we literally put it together like a day before, and sometimes it shows. But anyways.
Yeah, I don't know what other angle to take a picture of my asshole. It's just like, they're all done,
Not all of them, Edwin. Student loan relief. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay.
Hashtag my president.
I want to hear people who are frothing at the mouth with this entire conversation. Give us some counterpoints.
Yeah, I want to know why it's bad.
Why is this a bad thing? That people, is this a crabs in a barrel situation, or is there merit to the anger? Is there merit
it's
to
just people sipping on haterade, bro.
I heard a comment. I think I've already mentioned it, but the Dinkelberg level hate. I fucking love that shit. It's just some Dinkelberg level hate out here, dude. People just wake up and decide to just hate.
I told you the story of why he hates Dinkelberg so much, right?
I forgot. What was it?
Yeah, so Timmy's dad hates Dinkelberg because a dink in our society is a dual income, no kids. These people have twice the income of a normal household. Well, a household without a child, so they have more spending money. So he envies them because they're dual income, no kids. They have a lot more disposable income. So it's one of those grass is always greener.
That's why Dinkelberg had like all the freshest shit, and he'd be like Dinkelberg.
Yep.
Wow.
That's so great.
That's
fucking.
You didn't have a Timmy Turner
from the cartoon show Fairly Odd Parents. For those who don't know,
he just regrets having a Timmy Turner, huh?
Yep, damn. Exactly.
Damn, and his wife didn't work. She was a stay at home. Damn.
Well, no, she wasn't stay at home because Icky Vicky, dude, that was his babysitter.
Oh. Did the mom work? I don't remember. Well,
she wasn't around.
So that would make a dual income of, I guess they have a kid, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's some good stuff.
Thanks, Jeff. That was actually very good. Thank you for that.
I'm giving a thumbs up that you can't see.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. Let them know where they can find us.
No. I'm just kidding. You can reach us at our website, tiltednutster.com, or at our Instagram. You can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
Remember to join us to share your questions and voice your thoughts on what has you tilted.
Not
stirred.
Bye.
Yo, I'm quiet quitting this podcast.
See ya.
So I'm not going to do anything more.
That's not just quiet. You just told me what you were doing.
Just provide this talent right now.
And when you need to be on these episodes, people need you.